Alright. Finally down to skills. I decided not to label the tiers because I don't know how this is going to shape up. But essentially, we're going to have what I think should be the tag skills. Like the 3 best skills in the game. And then we'll go in tiers below that. So we've got all 13 skills here. We'll just go in order. Barter is incredibly hard to rank as a skill. Barter is really good because it affects Pack Rat, which is really nice. It also has the second most passive speech checks, I believe, in the game besides speech. But considering almost every barter option in the game either just gives you money or is an alternative to speech, it's pretty worthless if you're not going for Pack Rat. But you need it for Pack Rat, which kind of makes it really good. It has the most effect early on, but there's so much shit to sell and buy in this game that you don't need it in the long run. It's more good if you want to rush implants, but other than that, barter is like kind of just okay. I think the thing that keeps it from being like a dump skill that you just never have to raise is that it affects Pack Rat. Pack Rat is an incredibly overpowered perk. Being able to raise it at all is pretty amazing. So this is energy weapons. And I'm not going to cap. Energy weapons are the best combat skill in the game. You really do struggle early on to maintain ammo. Especially if you play on the harder difficulties. If you want to be dishonest and just rush Vegas by using stealth boys or turning down the difficulty, you can make enough money to get the MF Hyper Breeder in like an hour. And then you're set for the entire game. Even being honest, you can make your way around Goodsprings to Sloan to Hidden Valley to Scorpion Gulch, up to Durable Duns, and then still get the MF Hyper Breeder in like maybe 10 hours. Like, it's not that much to ask to get the Hyper Breeder. The second you have the Hyper Breeder, you're completely set. You could make a build around the MF Hyper Breeder. Like, that's how good it is. It can take down Deathclaws, Giant Rats, Squirts, Cazadors, Night Stalkers. Not to mention, the MF is boosted by Set Lasers for Fun, Fight the Power, and a Laser Commander, as well as Finesse and Better Criticals. The MF Hyper Breeder is like your best general weapon in the game, because it runs on its own ammo, has incredibly good durability, fires really fast with or without fast shot. Even with trigger discipline, it fires incredibly fast. The refill is so fast that you can hold it down and it's a permanent automatic weapon. The first like 10 shots are very fast and then it slows down, but you can fire it infinitely. MF Hyper Breeder just breaks the game, honestly. I enjoy it, but if I was trying to make New Vegas balanced, I would probably remove the Hyper Breeder from the game entirely. Spurtle would, when you have the strength requirement, when you can make max charge ammo, when you have Pack Rat, heavyweight, it's insane. It's nutty how strong that is. Not to mention, because of the fact that you're stacking so many chances to crit already, getting Light Touch is really nice. And because of an exploit, you can use the Combat Armor Reinforced Mark II in the base game with Traveled Light and Light Touch, because it checks, basically a bug lets you use it and still get the benefits. So yeah, Light Touch, 10 luck, finesse, better criticals, laser commander, set lasers for fun, fight the power, Gatling laser on legionaries is just nutty. Honestly, if you want to do house or independent and fight the NCR2, the moment you get the Hyper Breeder, you can start fighting hit squads. Like, the build is really powerful. If you want to go long range, the YCS is the unique Gauss rifle. One of the best snipers in the game. For some reason, the projectile is silent, so it doesn't affect reputation loss. Not to mention that with max charge microfusion cells, the YCS does about 300 base damage. If you start stacking like Psycho and Slasher and get a sneak attack critical with better criticals, you can pretty much one-shot anything in the game. Incredibly powerful. Spurtle Wood, really good automatic. If you want to go for one-shots, the fully modded GRA Tri-Beam Laser Rifle is insane with crits. But the best weapon in the game is probably Elijah's Advanced LARER layer with the modifications that you get in Old World Blues. But I don't like playing through Old World Blues unless I'm going through Dead Money first. That being the case, sticking with a build of like MF Hyperbreeder for weaker enemies, Gauss Rifle for sniping, Spurtle Wood Tri-Beam modded for powerful enemies, you can pretty much do whatever. It's incredibly easy. Plus, energy weapon ammo is really only gated off in the early game. The second you make it to RepCon, you get a giant stash that's going to last you for a while. And that stash will probably last you until you make it to Hoover Dam. And if you can buy ammo from Barden, you're set. You're never going to run out again. From there, you can probably make it to RepCon headquarters, which is just insanely stacked. And by that point, you can definitely make it to the Great Khan Armor. So there's like no reason you shouldn't have like infinite energy weapon ammo once you make it past like once you make it to Novak, essentially. Especially because you buy the MF Hyperbreeder in Novak. So yeah. The early game is extremely gimped though. I will say that. And I like that a lot because it adds this pace to the game that's really good. You either go all out trying to get the Hyperbreeder immediately, or you suffer and you have to use like a normal laser pistol that does like 7 damage for like 5 hours. The Recharger Rifle is most definitely though the best option, I think, in my opinion. But yeah. Early on to get to those better weapons. Laser is definitely the best. I think after laser, probably the Gauss Rifle is still better. And then the Hollow Rifle, and then Plasma. Plasma's okay. It just doesn't have many ways to boost it. Plasma Spaz is not an equivalent to Laser Commander at all. But yeah. Also, if you want to make your laser build even more insane, you can go through Lonesome Road and start getting the Eddie bots. You don't even have to complete Lonesome Road either. But just getting all of Eddie's upgrades and then having Eddie as a companion makes you stronger with laser weapons. It's insane. Next up is explosives, which I'm going to put like here. Explosives are very hard to rank. Explosives are in this weird area where they're incredibly overpowered and detrimental at the same time. If you have Demolitions Expert, you have a decent explosive skill, you have decent strength for the weapons, you basically two-shot everything. But you're always worried about killing yourself. You're always got to worry about how to carry around all that shit. At a certain point, too, it's overkill. Like, the only thing you don't overkill is Deathclaws, and you kind of wish you did. You can't use explosives in vaults, which are like packed with enemies all the time. It'd be really annoying to get around that. Just in general, explosives are like that. But then there's also the side of it where it's like, okay, if you're not supposed to specialize in explosives, can you just like carry a missile launcher on you for all times? No, because it's super heavy. And then without all the investment, energy weapons kind of really don't do that much more than just using a good energy weapon. Or like sniper rifle. So it's kind of weird in that aspect. If you enjoy playing the combat more in real time than in VATS, then maybe the explosives, the plasma grenades are more of what you're looking for. But I just don't get into that. Personally, I don't like the thrown weapon system. I'm not a hardcore gamer, so that's probably why it's so low for me. Next up are guns. And guns are second only to energy weapons. You find guns everywhere, and it's really easy to find ammo. Guns cap out earlier than energy weapons do. Like the C57 just does not compare to the Spurtle Wood. The AMR is like okay compared to the Gauss Rifle. There really isn't an MF equivalent. You're always going to have to keep a ton of ammo on hand. But Guns also have the advantage of being funner the whole run, because you start off with good guns like the weathered 10mm, the sturdy caravan shotgun. And getting ammo for those isn't impossible. Guns also have the most variety in the game. You can go from the lever action to the riot shotgun. You can keep on... What is it? Yeah, if you do a cowboy build, then you can use the lever action and switch around to the long carabine for sniping. You can use that gun for short range, then you can pull out a weapon for sniping. You can do an automatic weapon, but also carry around a weapon that's more powerful, but they both use the same ammo, so you don't have to worry about ammo. Hand loader is kind of fun. Carrying around armor piercing versus hollow point is always kind of a little fun if you know you're going to fight like geckos and death claws at the same time. Things like that. Gun perks are also the most plentiful. I think you get the more perks to affect guns than any other weapon in the game. So, pretty easy right there. Guns also work the smoothest with VATS, so you never have to worry about guns glitching out too badly. Whereas the Spurtle wood can kind of spaz out with VATS a little bit. Lockpick is really good. Lockpick has like no application in the game besides explicitly picking locks, and it's completely fine. Lockpick isn't as important when you realize that if you have a perception of 6 for better criticals, that you can take Coyote Tobacco Chew, Mentats, and then wear a headpiece and you have +8. The Vault 3 utility jumpsuit gives you +5, and then a Locksmith Reader gives you +10. Once you realize that, you realize that you can keep lockpick way lower than you thought you could and still get through the game. But it is still fun. And it's very useful to always get this. You need the lockpick to get the pulse gun early, to get lucky at all, to get the Gobi campaign scout rifle at all. What else do you need this for? It doesn't lock off much that's permanent content in the game. But just being able to constantly pick things will give you tons of bonus experience too, which will level you up faster. You'll be able to pick tons of ammo boxes, which will contain... Usually the way that it is that an ammo box that has a lock on it that's higher level than you feel it should be for the area will give you disproportionately good items, right? Like in the NCRCF, you can get frag grenades in some of the ammo boxes that have locks on them, because that's really powerful at that point. Pretty good. Medicine is like the best of this middle tier. Only good perk is Living Anatomy. Even then, Living Anatomy really is just a cosmetic change. There are medicine checks to fix snuffles. You can psychoanalyze Felipe and Michelangelo. You can talk to Betsy, Corporal Betsy. And then Nellis and Camp Forlorn Hope have areas for you to treat people, and I think that's like all the medicine in the game. Something like that. You do feel it though. Like, you feel how much stronger your Radix, Radaway, and Stimpaks are in the late game. But like, you can honestly just dump medicine if you don't want to do like those specific 10 interactions. Medicine will always kind of trail behind all your other stats. You don't really need it. If you get Arcade as a companion, you don't even need medicine at all. So, I mean, there you go. Not to mention, there's not enough radiation in the game. Having to use more radiation supplies in irradiated areas would actually kind of make the game better. So, medicine is the most useful of these three. No, barters for Pack Rat. So, yeah. This order. Melee weapons have really high peaks. If you plan on doing dead money, melee weapons have an insane cap because of Elijah's ramblings. With Elijah's ramblings and better criticals, I think you do literally, 100% extra critical damage, which is insane. Oh baby, the chainsaw, the thermic lance, Chance's knife early too, is insane. Melee weapons do incredibly good in crit builds. The problem is there's not as much variety as you think. Because really, you're going to rush for chances right, or chances knife either way. And then you're going to do that until you get like a katana, or a chainsaw, or a super sledge, you know? Not much variety. But it's stronger earlier, which is nice. Repair is like kind of too strong, in my opinion. Like, I think the campaign repair is just way too strong throughout the whole game. If you want my opinion, because it's like, okay, early on it gets you can have light touch at level 2 because of repair, which is like really strong. Then repair is useful for getting Eddie early on, which is insane. You can get a repair at 70, which gets you hand loader if you're using guns. That's like almost mandatory. Repair early on also just lets you get past with a lot of skill checks. The elevator in Vault 22 is a big one. You can basically skip the vault if you have a high repair. And then jury rigging is just the most insane perk in the game. Breaks the economy, like breaks the weapon system, breaks the weight system, because you can just repair a bunch of varmint rifles with a BB gun. Like, use a BB gun and then repair it with a bunch of varmint rifles, and then the moment you pick up an anti-material rifle, repair it with the BB gun. So nuts. Not to mention, repair isn't capped like it was in Fallout 3. So you can repair any item with any other item as long as you have enough to full. That's too strong. I think that it honestly should be like in Fallout 3, the percentage cap. I know a lot of people hate that, but it would give you an incentive to raise it very fast. But yeah, repair is just insane. Repair is nuts. Repair also has like a decent amount of skill, like speech checks to pass with repair throughout the entire game. Like, you're never going to be mad that you upped your repair. Science is also incredibly good. Better than Lockpick because it does explicitly what Lockpick does, with the exception of having a ton of speech checks, whereas this has more locks to pick, or safes to crack, than Science does. But they're literally the same, but this one's more useful for perks, Math Wrath, and dialogue, whereas this one has more things to open. Sneak is good for any build. Literally any build can use Sneak, because all you have to do is sneak, and then the moment it says caution, get your weapon ready. That's literally all you have to do. Any build can get sneak attack criticals by having a sniper rifle and then immediately switching to another weapon. Sneak is overpowered. Sneak is actually really weirdly bad for sneak stuff. Even at 100 sneak, you have a chance of being caught pickpocketing stuff that's like weightless and worthless. You always have a chance to be caught. So it's like sneak is worthless in that regard, but useful for any build. Like, Stealth Boys should basically be how you use stealth, and then I don't know, like, it's weird because it's disproportionate. But honestly, once you get to 50 sneak, you're set. 50 sneak lets you get close to basically anything to get a good sneak attack critical. And then 50 sneak also lets you sneak weapons past the guards in casinos, not that you ever need it. The only casino where you need it is like... No, you don't need it. You get weapons in every casino, so it's completely pointless. But yeah. Speech. Most powerful skill in the game. You can literally just beat the game with speech. It's called the speed run. And then, even if you're not speedrunning, how powerful speech is in this game is what makes pacifist playthroughs possible. There's like the idea that you always have to kill something, but you can literally beat the game without the item inventory. Like the creatures killed, people killed, things like that being 0. Just because of how powerful speech is. It's insane. Survival is always going to be good, but it's like not necessary. It's mostly useful for getting travel light, and then at 45 or 50 survival from there, You're getting a decent amount of food down. You don't need water as often. But, like, it's really not that good. I think, actually, you know what? You value pack rat more than survival. You value travel light and pack rat about the same. Unarmed. I think unarmed is better than explosives. Unarmed is the most fun to me, other than the MF Hyperbreeder, to use. It's just not as powerful as melee weapons, which is unfortunate. You do have more unique techniques, the cross and the uppercut, not to mention you can get the scribe counter, the con trick, the ranger takedown, and the legion assault, but honestly the most useful one is the fucking pocket sand. But even then, honestly the biggest thing is just I think unarmed is probably like next to barter and survival for being necessary for perks that up melee weapons. Then we'll put sneak there, but yeah. Honestly, yeah, melee weapons is like up here. And then medicine, yeah. We will do this. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Basically, you know what? I do think that high-end melee weapons kind of are in that similar caliber to guns, but just not as good, so they'll be in the lower tier. Yeah, this is good. Alright, I like this list a lot. Explosives and medicine are kind of lacking, all things considered. Unarmed, barter, survival are all pretty lacking as well, and they're more so necessary to get perks. Melee weapons and guns are both very powerful late game builds, pretty good the entire game too, because you get access to very good early guns. Chance's knife and weathered 10mm. Science, lockpick, and sneak are useful the whole run, no matter what. Any build uses them. And then repair, energy weapons, and speech are the best options in the game. Now, I know I named it tag, but hear me out here. Don't make these your tag skills. You should probably make your tag skills repair, survival, and barter so that you can get closer to pack rat, travel light, and light touch early on. As well as hand loader if you do light touch and guns. But yeah, doing those earlier on helps too. Tagging speech is always good so that you don't have to rise it as high. And a lot of the better energy weapons do have really high weapon requirements, so you'll want to get that high too, but it's all possible. But yeah, this has been my list. This is the last one of the 3. I don't know if I'll upload them in this order, but yeah. I am like a turbo New Vegas neckbeard. Played the game for 12 years. I've got like 200 hours on Steam from the past like 2 months of playing it. But yeah, tell me what you disagree with. I should have said that on the other ones. I should have like antagonized the comments and all that. But tell me what you disagree with. Tell me how you would fix the bad stats like medicine, explosives, survival, unarmed. And tell me how you would nerf speech without making charisma and speech useless. I'm really curious about that. The only one of these I know for sure is that I would nerf repair by adding in the Fallout 3 mechanic back. That's like it. But yeah, this one was fun. I stream on Twitch, that's Nick is a Neat. I have a Twitter, that's Nick is a Neat. I'm on YouTube, that's what you're watching, that's Nick is a Neat. I guess I should pull it up for spelling, right? Neat. And it's true, I'm not in education, employment, or training. And I have a VOD channel. We just did New Vegas Permadeath. Look at that, look at those streams. Yeah. But anyways, that'll be it.
Bye.